معرفة.
So idealism is an abstract concept. It evolves over time. What is ideal today may not be ideal in years to come. People are always aspiring to higher idealism. So what we find is, within the constraints we have, when we have depositors demanding the deposits on whenever they want, and they are not prepared to share the risk, it is very difficult for Islamic banks to go for risk sharing, which is basically what we call mudaraba and musharaka. So we have to, given the constraints, have to ensure that our murabahas, our ijaras, our salam, our istisnas, our sukuk, although they are what we call risk transfer instruments and products, these risk transfer instruments and products have to be as responsible and sustainable as possible. What I mean by responsible is, to ensure when you give this risk transfer product, we must have a higher due diligence process, so that the customer who gets this product has the means to repay. That means he is not over leveraging. He is not using this for speculative purposes. He is not using this for investments which are not useful or which are not beneficial to the society at large. So there must be an analysis beyond the halalness of the product. So this is where the Quranic guidance, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says to Muslims that earn income which is halal and tayyib. Now if you look at that verse, why should he mention halal? If you analyze, everything which is tayyib must be halal. I can't think of an income which is tayyib but not halal. Right? In order to qualify as tayyib, it must necessarily be halal. Same thing as tayyib food. Quran advocates Muslims to eat food which is halal and tayyib. So if you analyze, Quran should have simply said eat food which is tayyib, because tayyib would include halal. The reason, in my view, why there is a distinction between halal and tayyib is, of course, Islam aspires the Muslims to go for the highest ideal, the maqasid of Sharia. But often you find Muslims or society falls short of the ideal standard. So the minimum standard is halal. That's why the Quran says, eat food which is halal and tayyib. If you can get halal, that is good enough. But if you can aspire towards tayyib, that is the most preferred. So Islamic banks also fall within the same category, that we should aspire to make our halal products, right? All our products are halal because, number one, the product structure has been scrutinized, has been reviewed by the scholars, and the elements of riba and maisar and gharar have all been eliminated. So what is left is whether the halal product is behaving in a tayyib manner. So if a halal product like tawarruk has been used to increase leverage in the system to the extent the customers have now been burdened with so much of excessive debt they go into bankruptcy, that means that halal product has behaved in a non-tayyib manner. So in my understanding, when we talk about Sharia based, it's not only risk sharing is Sharia based. There's a misunderstanding in the market. The moment you talk about Sharia based, people think it's only mudaraba and murabaha. In my mind, that's not what the Quran says. The Quran is talking about making the income to the banks as halal and tayyib. So if the tawarruk, which is a risk transfer product, or murabaha, a risk transfer product, has been sold in a responsible manner to a corporate who is in a business which is sustainable, then the income is tayyib. So you can also give mudaraba, which is also tayyib. But to say that all risk transfer products are not tayyib or not recommended has no basis in my mind. So the challenge is, how do we move from halal to tayyib? So Islamic banks need to have a separate department, which I would call a responsible and sustainable financing department, looking into the finer details of the sales of the product. When you sell the product which is halal, how do you ensure that the product has been consumed in a tayyib manner, has been used in a tayyib manner? So that angle has not been focused yet at the moment. So we need to create that awareness and create that right platform to launch the tayyib concept.
معرفة.